Hi, Amy.
Hi, Melanie.
Hi,
Amy.
Hi, Jen.
Hi, everyone else. All right. This is Minds Moving Mountains with Mel and Jenn, two independently dependent soulpreneurs who connect women with information that moves them forward. Amy, we're so excited to have you here.
I am so excited to be around two incredible women. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you. So Amy Crabbe is our first ever guest on Minds Moving Mountains. We're so excited. And I actually have a very high country story to tell about Amy. We've both been around a long time up here, and we would always see each other. And we would just kind of like acknowledge each other, but never really approach each other. I probably waited on you at Pepper's quite a few times. But, you know, one day we both kind of at the same time were just like, okay, what is your name?
Yeah.
And what do you do? And blah, 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 blah. And so we finally did that because this small town up here in the high country, I feel like you're on the same like flight patterns as certain people and you see them all the time. Right. And then you're like, but I haven't seen so-and-so in forever. And then you just randomly run into them like once and then don't see them again for like 2 years, right?
You're friends, but you don't know each other.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, so there's people that you see all the time. And then we were at a Boone Chamber After Hours event and I introduced you to Melanie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And that was kismet because look at what's happened since then. It was like we were always meant to know each other and connect. And that connection was so pure and real and honest. And we've got a lot in common with our backgrounds.
Absolutely.
And our passions. Yep. And I'm very honored to serve on the Women's Fund board. Yeah. And that's really where our connection has just, you know, blossomed even more.
Exactly.
So let's get into it.
Okay.
Amy, you have lived many different versions of your life. You have been in corporate healthcare. You have been a consultant, a general contractor, GC.
What?
Yeah, no kidding.
I can't wait to hear
And
about that.
I'm talking like a real GC.
I can't wait to hear about that.
I'm a poser. Poser GC.
No.
And you serve as the executive director of the Women's Fund of the Blue Ridge here in the High Country. Take us back to before all of this and briefly tell us who was Amy before any of this came to be.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you personally, I'm a mom and a wife. I love both of those roles very much. I have a young son, 25, 26 years old. So that's who I started out to be. But then I became a healthcare executive, 32 years in healthcare. And at the end of my healthcare career, probably the last 3 years, I was an HR executive for a long time. That sort of fit my personality and I leaned into that. And I worked in a lot of different hospitals and health systems over the years. But the last 3 years, the CEO came to me and said, I want you to be the chief operating officer. And this was right before COVID. So I said, yeah, of course.
Why not?
Knowing that I had no reason to take that job or experience in doing that job. But that's part of being a leader, I think, is just stepping into spaces that you don't know what you're doing and you just figure it out, right? So
I mean, sometimes you have to take opportunities, even if you're not even sure what the heck is happening.
Yeah, exactly. So within 8 months, COVID hit. So it's probably the most challenging time to be onboarding into an operational role and then having to apply those operational skills. So I worked through COVID. And after that, so 32 years of a healthcare career. And honestly, at that point, I thought, I love this job. I loved every minute of, it's crazy to say I loved the COVID crisis, but I loved the chaos management that was required in that environment. And I loved taking my HR skills and holding my employees together through the COVID pandemic as much as I could.
Are you a person who in these like heavy chaotic situations can really focus in. But then in your everyday life, when something little goes awry, you kind of cannot handle it, or can you handle all situations?
I'm pretty good in a crisis. I learned through my role onboarding into the COO role that I was really made for crisis management. I had not been in that situation all the time, but COVID really just challenged the entire healthcare system in a big, big way. So what I learned to do is, I think as a woman leader, I picked up on the pain and the suffering and the compassion fatigue of our healthcare system, and I held it for them or tried to hold it for them. So yes, I went home, curled up in the fetal position, cried myself to sleep many, many nights. And then I went back, dried my tears, and the next day looked like I knew what I was talking about.
And that's what so many leaders do. And I talk about that a lot as well, is the helping versus owning. Right. As a leader, we just inherently own our team members' pain and suffering.
Yes. Yeah.
Because we feel like that's our responsibility. If we own it, it takes it off of them. In fact, it doesn't go anywhere for them.
No.
Just because someone else is feeling it now doesn't mean that they don't. And so that's one of the things as a leader, the difference between being there to support someone, give them the tools, the resources, the guidance, the leadership, the mentorship, and then being able to say, they are capable, they have what they need, they can go in, and I don't have to take this home. Because that's just overwhelming. I can completely relate to you.
Very true. I think really just holding that pain and suffering of the staff that you're managing or helping clear the path for them to be successful. I learned that what I needed to do with that information was not own it, but use it to inform decision making when I was sitting at the table. So we had key decisions about how we're going to allocate resources and how we're going to support our employees through this crisis. And my job was to hold that pain and say what is best for the employees, because if they're not taken care of, then our patients can't be taken care of.
How did you yourself, though, deal with this? Because we on this podcast are talking about women, and we're talking about women in various different positions or places in life, but having support themselves, right? I'm a person too who has been described like you just hold people, you can hold people. But what was your outlet? Who was your support?
That was my husband.
Yes.
No doubt. No doubt. I've been married 36 years, blissfully married. You know, people say that they say I've been married a long time. I get more in love and tighter with him every single day, and he's my rock. So over the years, he used to say, just quit your job when I would come home and complain. And over the years, he then has learned to be my life coach. And so over time, I would come home and just vent to him, and he would still say, you need to get out of this. This is going to kill you. And then I could release it and go back and take a little bit more the next day.
So ultimately, what made you decide to leave healthcare?
Oh, that's a good question. So when the COVID crisis started to wane a little bit and we had control of the environment, I had a job opportunity. My boss, the CEO there, had come to me and said, do you want to be on the succession plan so you can be the next CEO when I leave? And of course, your answer is yes. Of course, that's what we all want. We want to be the president of an organization someday, or if that's
your path. Yeah.
If that's your path. That was what my path was at the time. And after I said that, then recruiter called me and said, we want you to apply for this CEO job close by, like in the region. And I said, yeah, I'm definitely interested in that. And I went home and started putting my resume, boning it up because I hadn't touched it in 17 years.
Amen, sister.
Yeah. I was like, wow, I don't even know. God, how did I miss all the stuff I was supposed to be collecting?
I haven't been keeping track of my bullets.
How does this? I actually had my son look at it because he's young. And I said, would you look at this if you were in the workplace? Anyway, when I started putting the resume together, I just had this moment. I also, at that time, I've had 2 executive coaches in my lifetime. Both times I paid for out of my own pocket to just get better at what I was doing, to find ways to be better at my role and deliver more for my organization. And the last executive coach I had, I was having this conversation with him, and he's had me do a value sort. I don't know if you've ever done a value sort, but it's powerful.
Definitely not.
Yeah. It's a powerful tool. You take a lot of attributes and qualities of a job or life. You prioritize them. You put them in buckets, A, B, C, what's most important, least. And when I did that, I looked at the table and I went, wow, a CEO job in healthcare is great. It's what I should want, but it does not align with my value. And at that point, I said, I don't think I want this. I think I want the adventure of learning new skills and figuring out how to be in the next phase of my life. The value sort was really a turning point for me. And so then I said, I'm not applying for the job. And then everybody around me said, what are you doing? I said, not only that, I think I'm going to quit.
Everyone's got their opinion.
Yeah. And everybody said, why would you walk away from this great career? And I said, because I want to do other things before I die.
Right? Yes. And I love that.
When you mentioned earlier, well, I got offered this COO position and I was like, yeah, of course. The values were immediately popping up for me because in the hustle.
Yeah.
In what we believe is our path, because it's a title, it's a status, it's the only thing we've ever known, we forget that there's so much else out there for us, right? That could better align to who we are as a human.
That's right.
Values are so personal. Values require such depth of curiosity and discovery of oneself that's hard work sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
And doing exercises like that and going deep is paramount to really discovering who you are. And as a coach, that's where we start as well. Who are you really with everyone else away?
And for our listeners that aren't in the high country area, leaving a job around here is a lot harder because our job market is scarce out here.
It is.
So it's a huge leap.
Yeah.
It's a big leap. It's exciting, but it's also scary.
Yeah, it was very scary.
Yeah.
So I did not have a plan.
Right. Yeah.
So how did that feel to not have a plan?
Terrible. My coach said, I want you to take, I had saved a little bit of money and I had the opportunity to do this, not forever, but my coach said, I want you to take 3 months off and do nothing. I said, are you kidding? I can't go a day without doing nothing. And I did that. I found other house projects to do, which what got me into the GC role. I started continuing to renovate my house and doing construction type projects around the house.
Were you handy before?
No.
Not at all. Okay.
Okay,
good. I love this.
No, but I try to be a lifelong learner.
I love that term.
But I felt like, you know what? I want to be handy. I'm not handy, but I want to know how to drive a screw and build some shutters. And I want to be able to do all the things. I want to understand how the house is put together.
See, this is the power of HGTV, right?
It really is.
Yes.
I was a little obsessed with HGTV and realized that was not realistic about what it costs to renovate a house.
Absolutely not. No. And especially post-COVID.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But during COVID, my husband and I, when we became empty nesters, we bought an estate in Blowing Rock that was 105 years old. And it had knob and tube electricity and plumbing outside the walls. It was very, very dated, but a beautiful, beautiful estate. And we just felt serendipitously that it was our calling to renovate this house. That was how I got through COVID, honestly, because I came home every day and I would vent to my husband and then we would sand boards.
Yes. Yeah.
We did physical,
man.
It is. It is.
I busted down a wall during.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, in my house, I mean. There was no electricity, so we just opened it up and made a very small 2-bedroom into a nice bigger 1-bedroom right now. And it was the best thing. And my husband's not handy at all either. And he loved taking that sledgehammer to that wall, especially during that time.
Absolutely. Yeah. The demo part is the best.
Demo's always the best. Like, do not underrate demo.
Right.
Unless you have to scrape tile.
That's
like,
right.
That is not my...
I love demoing tile.
I don't like
I love demoing tile.
But I think my dad used to give us that job because he didn't want it. So. Yeah. My dad was a tile guy, so yeah. That's so funny.
So let's be clear. But for you exploring your values at that level, you may not have even picked up a hammer and explored what it was like to learn that new skill of GC.
I think that's a really good point. Everything led me to that moment.
Yeah.
Every other skill set. Like I don't regret a single job I ever had. Everything was a great experience for me. I loved every job I had. I loved the hospital. I still do. It was really painful for me to walk away. But the operational experience led me to, in the renovation of this big house, that we did the demo. We hired a GC to come in and rebuild it. And they were fantastic.
Oh, that's good.
They were fantastic. Because it was like, a 5,000 square foot home, way bigger. And then we sold it after we were done. But during that process, I watched the project management and I thought, I could do. I hope the project manager's not listening. But just as a woman and a very organized person and having run a health system from an operational standpoint, I gained the skills that I knew I can manage people and I can manage materials, inputs, and get outcomes. And I just knew that, gosh, I think I could do a good job at that. And I was passionate about it. I like taking old things and turning it into something new. I went to a class at the community college to just explore. I had no construction experience, just a lot of DIY in our household for many years, but that's not the same as construction.
No.
And I took a class, and everything I learned except for the details of steel and concrete erection, those were not interesting to me.
Right.
But other than that, everything I learned, I was just like a sponge. Like, oh my gosh, I can do this.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a blonde, 55-year-old woman. Nobody will work for me, but I think I can do it. Just given the chance. And then I took the test to become a GC, and I failed it.
Okay.
I failed it by one question, and it devastated me. I'd never failed anything in my life. And I remember, because you have to go to one of those testing centers, right?
Which makes it so much more
like
nerve-wracking.
3-hour
like
tour.
Little cubicle.
It was awful. A pencil and a piece of paper, that kind of thing. And I drove home, and I was just devastated because I'd never failed anything. But that's the risk you take when you leap out of this career, which is safe and you know it, into something that is completely unknown.
100.
Not going to get it every time.
No.
Took me 3 months to retake the test. And my husband's like, you just got to retake it. So I studied harder. I learned more, have a better working knowledge of construction, even though I had not done it yet. And then I passed the second time.
Fantastic.
I didn't pass by flying colors, but I passed
matter.
enough to get the license.
The last person to graduate med school is still called doctor.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Right.
Exactly
and I want to give a little shout out to community college.
Yeah,
for sure.
Because people don't realize what a great resource it is, and you can take so many different types of classes and learn so many different things, and it doesn't have to be a full-time thing. You can take a class here or there.
At night.
At nighttime, too. Massage, I went to 2 universities for 2 different degrees.
Yep.
And my little 600-hour course for continuing education, it was called at the community college, now, makes me enjoy the life I have and paid my student loans off for those big universities.
You can remake yourself over and over.
Over and over again. Over and over again. And, shout out to trades too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to highlight something because you intimated to something that resonates deeply with me, but I think also will resonate with other people if they allow it to. When you started this GC journey, I sensed from what you were saying that you had a great deal of belief in yourself, that you knew you could do this.
Yeah.
And that is something that not everyone has because they're stuck in their head with all of the challenges that they have encountered in their life. And you have encountered challenges in your life, yet you still knew that you could do this. And even though you flunked it the first time, you still knew you can do it. So can you just share 1 or 2 minutes on the power of believing in yourself?
Yeah. I know it's corny, but I listen to inspirational music that would talk about, I listened to Roberta Flack sings The Impossible Dream every morning while I was in the shower during that time where I was just sort of envisioning
it was a mantra.
Success. Right. Yeah, I'm a very visual learner, and I visualized what I would look like in that role every day.
Yes.
Did you picture yourself with a little tool belt, your construction boots?
I did. I bought the Carhartt overalls, and
Yeah.
I used those for my projects around the house just so I could get the feel. I got the boots, the work boots, the steel-toed, and the whole thing, just because I thought if I could see myself in the role, then every time somebody said, "You're not going to be able to do this," and a lot of people said that to me.
Isn't that awful?
Yeah.
And it is because of your gender identity.
But that fed me.
Of course.
That fed me. I'm like,
yes.
Hide and watch.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
See you on the other side.
But also too, getting back to your husband, we do talk a lot about women supporting women in here, but having the support of your male partner is huge because a lot of people do not have that.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. My husband went to the class with me, and about 3-4 weeks from the end, he just stopped going. He said, this is not going to be for me. So when we got done, I said, I'm taking the test, and he goes, I'm not I'm not
good
interested.
for him.
I'm not interested in this. And so it takes a lot for, your partner to say, this is your dream, not mine. So I'm just going to support you in it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Amazing.
It is.
Right. Women's
All
Fun,
right.
because we have a big event coming up.
Yeah. We have Power of the Purse and Bourbon Under the
I mean,
Blue
come
Ridge.
on.
Yeah, two big events coming up, which is the bane of our existence to fundraise for what we do.
So you have lots of free time right now.
Yeah. So about the time I finished the GC and was looking for my first project kind of thing, my friend said there's a job opening at Women's Fund. And I had been trying to figure out what's next for me. Well, the Women's Fund needed an executive director, and that scale was a lot smaller than what I had done at the hospital. But I like the idea of getting back to giving back to my community and being a little more hands-on, because once you get to that level in an organization, you're not as hands-on.
Right.
You got a team of people doing your financials instead of you figuring out how to operate QuickBooks or whatever tool you use. So I applied for the job and they said, yeah, we'd love to have you in this role. And I said, well, I only want to work 24 hours a week so I can have these side hustles with consulting and the GC. And they said, okay. So that's how it came to be. And I love the organization, love working with powerful women, all women board, all women volunteers. We have some men who support us, but it's really lovely to be surrounded by a lot of powerful women.
So for those who don't know, what does the Women's Fund actually do?
We're a philanthropic collective organization. We simply raise money so that we can redistribute that money through grants, primarily, other resources, but primarily through grants, to various nonprofits in our area who are making a positive impact in the lives of women and girls, largely around basic needs. So we serve a lot of impoverished in the community, in a rural community. There is an unseen need of women to be supported. And it comes in the form of basic needs, housing, safe housing, food insecurity, all those things.
Period support.
Yeah, that's so huge.
Yeah. And it also comes in the form of taking our next generation and empowering them and educating them and making sure they're ready for the next chapter so they can be fully self-sufficient and realize their dreams. So it's all of those things.
And just from my view, the Power of the Purse Luncheon is one of the biggest events I think the High Country hosts.
Yeah. I hope so.
Yeah. I mean, it sells out how fast?
Yeah. So last year it sold out in a day and a half. Yeah. This year, Joan London is our guest and Molly Grantham is going to facilitate a conversation with her. And we sold out in about 3 weeks this year. Yeah. So we've got 400 people attending this year at Grandview on June 25th.
Yeah. And the 24th is the patron party, which is being hosted at one of our board members' homes. And Joan is going to be there. And it's a very intimate group setting.
Tickets are still available for that.
Tickets are still available for that.
Yeah. If you want an evening with Joan London and have a personal book sign with Joan, reach out to the Women's Fund.
This work is shining a light on things that humans can't find space to focus on without that light being shown on it, because everyone is so busy with their own things. But if we don't take time to look and to explore the possibilities of supporting other people, young people especially, who is our next generation?
Exactly.
They deserve to be part of this next generation of impact. I am so grateful for the work that you do and the leadership that you provide, even in the 24 hours that you dedicate, which is probably really more, but okay. 24 hours a week.
Yeah.
So that you can still do the other things that you love.
Yeah.
Your impact is seen, heard, and valued.
Oh, thanks.
So thank you so much.
Still working on that.
Well, it's there. Okay. So shall we wrap up with our favorite thing?
Favorite thing.
Favorite thing.
Okay. I have my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Oh, love a visual.
Only because I was thinking about what my favorite thing is.
Yes.
So when I need a break or when I need to reward myself, it's usually through food.
Okay.
And one of my favorite things in the High Country is the frosted coffee at Chick-fil-A.
All right.
I had no idea there was frosted coffee
I know.
at Chick-fil-A. So this is why I love my favorite things.
I know. It is like a coffee milkshake.
Oh my gosh.
But because it has coffee in the name, you don't think you're eating a milkshake for breakfast.
Right.
So I just think
it's like a
fat milk in there, right? I don't know what's in there. It doesn't matter. It makes me happy.
100% pure deliciousness. That's what that is.
Right.
Yes. I love it. All right. So everyone listening, go out and get yourself a coffee milkshake from
frosted coffee.
milk. Oh, I'm sorry.
Just
Yeah,
called
no
frosted coffee.
milkshake.
No milkshake.
It's not milkshake.
Yeah, it's just called a frosted coffee.
I love it.
Yeah.
Not to be
love it.
confused with a frosty.
That's right.
Yes,
That's right.
frosted
Yes.
coffee.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I love that. Can you dip
Thank you,
fries in that
ladies.
too, though? 'Cause that'd be good.
I bet you can.
I don't think a waffle fry fits in.
Yeah, I think it would be kind of interesting. Yes.
You guys are awesome. Thanks for
Amy,
doing
it has
this.
been so awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for being our very first guest on Minds
Pleasure.
Moving
Perfect
Mountains.
first guest. We're
Thank
looking
you.
forward to the Power of the Purse luncheon
Yeah, patron party.
Yeah.
I'll be
and
there.
bourbon.
Yeah, under the
Mhm.
Blue Ridge.
That's hard to say
Mhm.
10
It
times
is.
fast.
It
Yeah.
is.
This was Minds Moving Mountains. If you liked this episode, let us know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe.
Yep.
You can find us on Instagram.
At Minds Moving Mountains, or email us at mindsmovingmountainspod@gmail.com.
Thank you.
Bye.